Hello again, YouTube, and I'm back with another video here. In this video here, just want to show folks that are, following my channel and so forth, other solar enthusiasts, some of the stuff that I've got going on, some of the new projects. And in this project here, I've replaced my old circuit breaker with two solid-state relays. And these solid-state relays are connected to my comm box through this dry contact relay here, this relay switch. And so what it is these are two solid state relays. This is the output side of the relay on both of these. These are two outputs, and they go from up to 240 volts each solid state relay. And this is the control side of the two relays. So this up here is up to 240 volts, and on the control side, as you can see there, it goes from 3 to, I don't know if that'll focus, but it'll go from 3 to 32 volts DC. So this is up to 240 volts AC on both legs, and this is 3 to 32 volts DC on the control circuit. So, so on this side right here, this is AC and this is DC for the control. And this is connected up to this dry contact switch. And what you see is three items here. You see normally closed, COM, and NO for not normally open. So these two relays are configured to be normally closed. This is how they operate. When there is no control signal, then they allow power to go through the circuit, to its destination. They complete the circuit so that the power will flow through. Now, when I send power from this contact to the control side of these solid-state relays, then it will break the connection. So this right here is set for normally open. So this is why I have the positive and the negative connected to the COM. COM is negative, and the normally open contact is positive. So what happens is when that control signal, when this circuit gets closed, then this will energize this particular control circuitry here, and it will break the circuit, okay, not allowing power to come through. Now, to supply power to this particular dry contact, I have to supply it through an external source, and I do that with this particular adapter that you can get from Best Buy, Walmart, or something like that. And essentially, you plug this into a socket, and you get some extra outlets. And you also get two USB ports. Each USB port will provide 5 volts of power. And with this particular dry contact, you can see that the maximum voltage that it will accept is up to 24 volts DC at 4 amps. So I'm well under with 5 volts. So what happens is when this thing gets closed, then through this connection, it will send 5 volts, okay, to my control circuits, and therefore allowing this to break the circuit or break the connection or open the circuit, therefore turning off the power, the input power going to my inverter charger. To show you how this works, we'll come over here to my my application, and you can see right now I'm on like grid support. I'm pulling about 700 watts coming from the utility, and I'm providing just under a kilowatt or around a kilowatt to the loads in my home. You can see that as far as the trimetric is concerned, I'm pulling about 18 amps coming from the battery bank. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the circuit to go off grid, and so in order to do that, I have to go through the web interface of the COM box, and there is if you look here, if I can scroll over, this is the parameter that I need to play with, and this is the value. It right now is currently on. I'm going to expand that. It's currently on, and I'm going to turn it off. Okay, and I've selected off, and I need to commit those changes by clicking on this floppy disk symbol. Is amber, so I'll click on it. And I made the change, and let's head back, and you'll see that now I'm inverting. So I am off grid, and so I have no power coming in from the utility, and I'm supplying just under a kilowatt to my household loads. And so what happened was this circuit, which is normally open, is now closed to send power to this control circuitry, or the control side of the solid state relays. And now this circuit here, this AC circuit that is normally closed, is now open. Now, unfortunately, when I talked to technical support, Snyder technical support, they said that I can't control this relay contact through Modbus. I have to use the web interface in order to do that. That didn't really make sense to me, but you know, that was technical support. So, so this is why I have to go through the web interface as opposed to, you know, doing it through my application, which I would prefer. Now, this is the Midnight Classic 250. It also has an auxiliary relay contact, so that I can control external devices through here. And I might eventually migrate over here and use that contact as opposed to this particular relay contact. But for right now, for testing, you know, this works fine. You see I have to cover off this particular case here. And this is because I'm doing testing, and I was doing testing and trying to, you know, kind of get things together and, you know, put it in there. As you can see, you know, I got 2 solid state relays on heat sinks, and they're mounted, you know, they're mounted pretty well inside of the box. You know, there's plenty of room, and it works great. I just need to put a front cover on it, which is no problem. I got plenty of options for that. And so just to kind of also demonstrate, if I want to go back on grid, or, you know, with grid support, not a problem, I just simply go back through the web interface and change the parameter back to on. Commit those changes. And it'll, at a few minutes, it'll sense that the power is back on, and you'll hear that chunk. That's basically, you know, the transfer switch kicking in, and now I'm back on AC support or grid support. If I was not on grid support, then essentially what will happen is the battery bank will begin the inverter charger will begin the charging process of the batteries. So anyway, I think this is pretty cool. I'm gonna go back off grid. And the reason I did this, because, you know, I want that capability to kind of go off completely off grid, you know, when I want to. Okay, so I've committed the changes. Go back, and you can see now I'm off grid. One thing that I've discovered, many of us discovered, is that in the Connex SW, when it goes in hybrid mode, you know, you don't get the full 30 amp capability, you know, powering your loads. What you do is you get 15 amps, and you know, and I think that's by design. So it only utilizes one leg of the of your power coming in, so it only utilizes one leg. So, but if I go off grid, I utilize both legs, and I can get the full, you know, capability. And so that's, you know, I kind of wanted to control, you know, that aspect of the inverter charger on my own remotely. So, and with these solid state relays and this dry contact, I now can do that. Okay, all right, take care, you.